on that note, we're live. Now, say it again, sir. Say it again, Elder.
I said to God be the glory for
Okay.
all the things He has done.
Hush. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Mobile JeVaughn Show. I am your host, and today is going to be another amazing episode because, 2.5 of us are mobile. Now, I will admit, there may have been a person named JeVaughn who told someone, and then Lord, the Spirit put it upon me. Anyway, so what's going to happen is I'm going to let Elder, because he has radio and interviewing experience and podcasting experience, and don't tell him I told you this, but he's pretty good at what he does. So I'm going to let him chat it up with his guy. We're going to talk new album. We're going to do all this stuff, and it's right here on the JeVaughn Show. Elder, please say.
Hey, everybody, listen. Again, you're on the JeVaughn Show. I am Pastor Stephen Anderson, and I am here with I call him Dr. Dame. This has been my friend for probably almost 15 years.
Yes, sir, my dude.
About 15 years,
yes,
man. And
yes, sir.
I can remember, well, first of all, let me get his full name. Is Pastor Damon Wilkins. Is it Wilkins or Wilkinson? I'm about to mess up. I'm nervous. I'm messing up already. He is a phenomenal preacher. He's a wonderful pastor. He's a father. He's a husband, and he is out here doing some great moves for the kingdom. And I remember when we first connected as indie artists, we were, matter of fact, sharing our demos and like letting each other hear our music before it came out. Each other's music before it came out. So we've been at this for a long time. Not really for the industry's sake, but for the gospel's sake, because we recognize that God has given us something. So, man, welcome to the show, and tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what you do. I gave a little bit, so but give them a little bit more.
Well, thank you again, man, for the opportunity for having me on here. It's such a surprise, man. It's crazy. We were just talking on yesterday, and you know what I mean. Just talk, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being a real one, man. For real, you are a real one, a real brother, man. You're a real solid dude, man. Because you're somebody, you're somebody that I can say genuinely cares. You genuinely have a care, man, and I can do nothing but appreciate you for that. So my name is Damon Wilkerson, and as an artist, I go by Dame Wilkes, and I have some new music that I've been releasing into the atmosphere. Um, my new single is entitled "Better Man." Um, it's a little different from what I'm accustomed to feel as far as the feeling that's in the music and the approach that I kind of took with this song is something that God gave me. And I guess I wanted to ask the Lord for something that maybe a person who wouldn't listen to traditional music, that I could have something that would kind of catch their ear, and the Lord gave me that, man. Um, at the same time, I'm still preaching, and I'm just trying to find whatever God has, whatever tools that God can use to have me reaching out to others in this time. So
Yeah, man, and that's one of the most powerful things, man. That always pressed me about you is that it's never been for the glitz or the glamour. It's never been about trying to be church famous and trying to get that next deal or trying to get that next platform. But it's always you push the kingdom. That's always been the mindset. You always push the agenda of the kingdom and operate it in what God has called you to do. And I think it's a wonderful thing when you have ministry and you know your grace and you know where God has called you to, and you become familiar with your territory and you begin to connect with the people God has called you to. So that's a beautiful thing to have and to know, because a lot of people are out here right now. Um, they're grabbing these titles and they're trying to get on, and they don't have a why. And so even one thing I've always appreciated about you, and I tell anybody, you meet this young man right here. He's we shared a lot of, like, we talked, even in our hardships, man, we go back.
Yeah,
Our
definitely,
our
definitely,
days
bro.
when we were broken, oh my God, just broken, and trying to find our way back to the Lord. Not that so much one had fallen, but it was just that you just didn't know what to do because so much had
The
taken place in life.
circumstance, so much had
Circumstance.
taken place, bro.
What those saints would say is the vicissitudes of life would happen.
Definitely.
And the thing is, it was always about getting back to the will of the Father and knowing what God wants for us and pleasing Him. And that's one thing I could say about you. It was um, our conversations were never shallow, never about
Nah,
um,
never. Right.
we just giving churchy responses, but we were really getting to the depth and the heart of life issues, man, and still continuing on in ministry. And so to
Definitely.
see someone like you with that tenacity and that appetite for God was refreshing. It even helped me in my healing process. So I'll
Yeah,
forever appreciate and honor your ministry, man. So big ups to
definitely,
you.
definitely.
So
And I
so
was going
tell
through a
everybody.
moment, and I think when we first met, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. When we first met, well, not when we met, I was going through, I was in the process of trying to heal from a divorce. And
Yes.
my two sons were like 4 and 3 or 4 and 2. Like
Mm-hmm.
three, like they were really young, man. And I mean, you were a father and you had been through some stuff, and it just kind of was like, and I was really healing and trying to heal and trying to escape, and music, gospel music was my avenue, uh
Mm-hmm.
was my avenue of healing at that time, man. And it still is, but I'm healing but I'm beyond that stage of healing, and now it's restoration, it's salvation, it's you know all those other things that we needed to be. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. As when you were saying, you were coming through you were on the end of your divorce, and I was going into mine. but but I tell people this all the time. Just from what you just said, now it's about restoration and healing. Um, Sometimes, I know we can come back with a lot of churchy scriptures, and we can say all the most, use all these colloquialisms and stuff to emotionally move people. But it's another thing when you had experience with life. It's been another thing when you've experienced brokenness, and God has allowed you to triumph. Um, and it's not that we, have dot every I and cross every T, but it was the mere fact we stayed in His
I can't
presence
hear you,
for a
bro.
pursuit. Can you hear me? Put it back in. Can you hear me? You there?
uh
Think he fell out for a minute. He'll be back in. Can't hear you.
Sorry. Well, we as men, we be going through some stuff, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And
We do.
sometimes, a lot of times, it's just the going in and out of divorces for me that just, it's like every male that I knew coming up, some point or another, had to go through a divorce.
Yeah.
And it's hard to understand, like, wow, why did God create this opportunity for us to be together? Just shouldn't it be for the rest
Sorry,
of my life?
I'm not sure
So
what
it's
happened.
just
I
interesting
apologize. I'm not sure what happened.
how
Doc is
you.
back. Okay.
No
Now,
worries.
JeVaughn,
Now,
what you saying?
Yeah,
are you able to hear us?
so I'm
Okay.
back. I can hear you guys. I'm sorry.
Cool, cool. I'm gonna let you guys. I'm about to close out of work. I'll let you guys get back to it.
But wait a minute. Finish your statement, because people
Okay.
need to hear this. I'm talking about for JeVaughn real quick.
Well, I was just saying that it's interesting how when we go into it and we're like, God, I'm gonna make this vow to this woman, and we're gonna be together forever because you put us together. And then once you going through that divorce, it's like, okay, God, but you said that. And I asked you, God, before I got with this woman, if this was right, and you said that this was okay. So then now, why am I going through this? And that's one of the things that I had to go through, and my mental challenges through my divorce. So and I hear that from so many men. When we go in, we in love, we go through the process, and then when we go through this divorce stage, it's like, okay, God, but why? Why when I thought that this is what
Yeah.
You fell out again.
You know, what's so crazy?
Go ahead,
What's so
boss.
crazy is, bro, I tell people I learned how to follow my flesh for every need I had.
Hmm.
I learned how to follow my flesh to get a girl's phone number. I learned how to follow my flesh to get out of trouble, which was tell a lie. I learned how to follow my flesh for everything else. Learned how to say my, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to say my prayers when I was feeling down and low, right? I thought I learned how to worship. You thought you learned you learn how to do all these things that are self-beneficial. But I didn't learn how to have a capacity of a husband's love through for a wife. Like how to do what God says to do. And you have children, and it was just layers, bro. It was crazy. And I come to the realization that it ain't about what God says, it's about what you are able to do.
Exactly.
Like
Yes, because we're human.
God
We're
says,
human.
yeah, because we human, man. And God can say something, but are you willing to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do it? And it ain't about heaven or hell. In some instances, it's not about heaven or hell. It's about the discomfort that you're going to feel from trying to hold on to what you say God told you to do. And then can you hold on in an uncomfortable, how long can you remain in an uncomfortable state while you await for God to open up that door? Like I'm
Wow.
just saying for me, that's kind of what.
No, 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 no. I got you. I got you. Yeah. But you know what? It's a great thing to take ownership. Um, Sometimes because I can be transparent. I went through a whole self denial thing, and then I had to come to a place of ownership. Um, and most times when people say take ownership, it's all about the bad stuff. But I had to take ownership for my good and my bad, and
Definitely.
um, and that's how I was able to start healing the process, the healing process, not just with a divorce, but just being human, being a man that that will operate in his flesh, that struggle with self control, things like that. So it's been a journey, um, and it has been those seamless victories, those quiet victories. We don't get on social media and go, "Oh, I'm delivering, I'm healed, da da da," and we don't get to do all of that. But it's demonstrated through our ministry, and people can see, they can experience the growth, they can feel the excitement about where you are now. Not just you just excited because you got a microphone, but you're excited about your life, about your walk, your journey, your story, and because you've come through that, we've come through so much, or because you come through so much, from even what you're saying, you're able to see a man that looked like the old you and begin to speak life into them and help
Yeah.
them to heal. So, um, and
Yeah, bro.
we all know that music is a door opener. It's a door opener, but it gives you an opportunity to begin to speak life into people, to minister to people, to serve them. And I know a lot of times people use the word minister, but a lot of people don't know what minister is. I just found that out. Minister is to really serve people with
Hmm.
good attitudes, bad attitudes. Ministry is really customer service.
Customer service, bro.
It's really customer service. And a lot of people don't know that. And if they do, they'll forget. So for those who are watching, we come to let you know that ministry is customer service.
Customer service, bro. Ministry is
Amen.
customer service, man. Truly
So
is.
so
Customer service.
we're gonna go down a list about a few with a few things. So tell us about the name of the ministry that you have, um, the people that you pastor. Tell us a little bit about the church.
Well, I am not the head pastor. I am the worship
Hmm.
leader of the church. That I'm a worship leader that is ordained as a pastor. My church is in Philly. I've been serving in this ministry for um, since 2003 for, as the worship leader. And man, I love it. My It's called Vision of Missions Tabernacle, and it's in North Philadelphia. My pastor is Apostle Phyllis Moore. The overseer, which was my previous pastor, Van Moore, passed away in December. But we're not a large church, man. We just enjoying Jesus, bro. You know what I mean? And personally, I've been an artist for the last since 2000, and I'll say uh 12. Since 2012, I've been a gospel artist where I've been producing music. That you can say that I've been producing music that you can purchase and find. So, and I'm sharing platforms with other major artists and things of that nature. It's been since 2012 that I've been doing
That's
music.
dope.
Yeah.
So tell us about the new single that you have out right now.
The new single's called Better Man. It's a little outside of the box of what my norm is as far as even the sound, the style. I don't like using the word vibe because it's like, what I mean, you know, but the feel of the song, the approach of the song is a little different, it's a little uncommon for me. Um, but I wanted something that was a little out. I asked God to kind of give me something that a person that would not necessarily want to listen to a gospel song, that they could turn on a song and not want to turn it back off because it sounds churchy. So, and the song was a freestyle. It actually wasn't even a song that was intended to be written. I was in the studio, and somebody called me up the studio and told me to check something out. They put a beat on, told me to go into the booth like I was rapping or something, and I just started. And I literally went in, like they turned a hip hop beat on. It was a hip hop beat, and and I just I got into the booth and I just started. I just sung the song straight out, and then a week later, I sung the hook rather. I got a week later, came back and I sung the verses, and that was it. Like it wasn't pre-written or anything like that. It's called Better Man, and pretty much it's just talking about, um, you know, how I've never seen a man leave the Lord and be a better man, but I've seen a bad man get with God and be a better man.
Yes.
And just again, I said, God, give me something that can make us think, and it wasn't, you know, something that I'm thinking the industry is going to take and go to the top of the gospel charts, but it's really something that was heartfelt about what I think we are going through.
Yeah. And that's well, a lot of us need to hear, and I know it's not a gender specific song, but it's definitely a song that people can hear, and like I heard, no, you said you don't like the word vibe, but they definitely can. They can get into it. They can get
Yeah,
into it.
I mean,
You can feel it.
just the word vibe to me is so. Everybody's saying the word vibe. I mean, vibe. I'm like you don't even know what it means. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, they
but
don't.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't. But it's definitely something you get into, and the message is very clear. So, those who are into words and lyrical content, it would definitely resonate with them. Especially someone who's been at that crossroad, trying to become a better man, or better woman, or better citizen, or kingdom
yeah,
citizen, or converting from sinner to saint. Is definitely something that can resonate with everybody, and they can get into. You can bop your head and and uh, and make you think about your life. If you reach a certain place in life, you even feel like you plateaued where you are now. It'll make you want to mount up a little bit more. So it's definitely a
yeah.
song to push and encourage people to do better with their life. And the thing is, I feel like just my opinion. I think when people write songs like this in particular, it's not because you're and like you said, you freestyle. Gotcha. You was kind of in there freestyling, but the thing is, you wouldn't be able to freestyle like that unless you had that type of experience. You
Yeah.
have to. I believe most people's songs should be a testament. It should be relatable to you in some type of way, to reach other people, from heart to heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope to have that. You have several singles out. I remember when I had my own indie radio show, man, I was bopping about three, four of
Yeah.
your tunes back then, man. So
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, bro.
on the Elder Show.
Yeah,
So
the Elder Show.
that
Yep, I remember that.
why is that? And that's really been like a decade, man, since that happened. That's been a decade.
It
So
happened
it's just
2015. You're
crazy.
right.
Yeah, man. So it's been this has just been a journey, man, where God has brought us. Um, we done lost so many friends, and within that time frame, just life just ended. They didn't wake up the next morning, but the Lord has kept us and allowed us to be here, still to serve, still to get the word out, still continue witnessing, outreaching people, doing outreach and reaching people that don't know about Christ, and those who may used to go to church, to go to church with Big Mama, you know. I remember music used to be like this. Your music has the ability to catch them wherever if they're into praise and worship, if they're into urban music, they want to get a little churchy. You can meet them where they
Right.
at. And plus, you sound like a preacher anyway when you talk and sing. So you sound more like a preacher than I do. So they know they dealing with the right reverend when they got them. So tell me about your experience about as far as being a worship pastor. Can you kind of help with? I don't
You
not
did
so
my
much just your
experience.
experience. Yeah, not just only your experience, but what can you tell other worship leaders how to be like to be responsible worshipers, to be responsible leading people. 'Cause
Yeah.
you walk in the pastor up and pastor that.
I mean, it's for me. It starts the moment I leave church. It starts the moment I leave church. The songs I sing, the all of that. It's not a game. Like it started to become real to me that um, you can't treat it like. At one point, I guess I treated it like how you learn your job, and you get so accustomed to just going to work and then turn your computer on and put your headset on and you do whatever you do at work, or you walk into the building and you greet your folk and you start your work, and it can
Like a
become just
gig.
like that, right?
Like a gig.
Like a
Yeah.
gig, and or like a thing, like you can
Yeah.
get like your assignment. And the set and God dealt with me. It was like, don't make this an assignment. Make this a lifestyle that you agree with. So I had to learn how to agree with we exalt thee. Learn with we agree to. I love to call your name. It's something we cannot explain. I had to learn how to agree with.
Yeah.
Holiness, holiness is what I long for. I had to learn to agree with
Watch your
that when I
voice,
left
sir. Watch
church.
your voice. Watch your voice.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to like leave
Yeah.
church and agree with this. So now when I'm at home and I'm in a house and a rough time come, is it still holiness, holiness, what I long for? Is it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, is it still that? Is it still I worship and adore you? Just want to like, am I still doing these things when the difficult time of the week comes? You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
then like, and it begins to challenge me. So as a worship leader, the challenge is not the assignment of a day, but yo, is this what you really do? And one day I was in church, like about a few months ago. I happened to open this. I was looking at this scripture, and I saw where the Levites weren't just singing; they were the priests, and they were warriors. Like they was ready to rumble. Like, no, we ain't no weak, soft dudes. Like we out here
Mm-hmm.
and we getting it. And we not going like and we on post and we doing it and we living like we living according to what the words say. We not just and I had to make my mind up like, okay, God, let me do the job regardless of the award or regardless of the reward. Like I may never, of course I would love to get a stellar award or I would love to have a something just because it costs me so much money to like, you know what I'm saying, to do this. But the job is getting somebody to see Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like the job is knowing that that experience that we had on a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever day you worship on, that it
All through the week. All through the week. It's all through the week. It's not just
I mean,
a
all through the week, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
all through the week. Yeah, I totally agree. It's a great responsibility to lead people in worship and to lead your team. You have to be a great example. Um, of course, we have all these people with different characters and attitudes and backgrounds and all that stuff. So it takes a lot to be that type of leader. It's a lot of pressure because you got to learn to be all things to all men. and and it's people think it's a glitz and glamour, it's a powerful position. Yeah, but remember this: to whom much is given, much is required.
Much required.
Much is required. So
Yeah.
it requires your patience, your due diligence, your faithfulness to God, your commitment to loving people, um, even when it's not a good space.
Yeah.
uh, you have to be committed to the cause and remember your why. Why are you doing this? Um, and I think that's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful responsibility, but it's not as easy as most people would think it is. And so it kind of, I'll be telling people, I say, y'all don't want to deal with this type of lifestyle. This another level of faith you don't want to deal in yet. Um, you know, people think leadership is almost like, you get to be a dictator. No, you don't get to be that. You learn to be a people person and accommodate people in whatever, capacity you're in. So um, that's a great responsibility. Now, I want to get to the great question. Tell us about this wife, this this queen, this fragrance. Uh-huh.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah. My wife is man, I've learned so much about about God from being married because like she's caused me to grow. She brought me favor. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
she's brought me favor, man. Um, she's beautiful on the outside and on the inside. She's a great mom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm still learning how to be a good husband. So like
Gotcha.
I'm learning how to be her husband. I'm learning how to be her husband. Is you know what I mean? And that's what I'm picking. That's the my main focus is like erasing the what I the husband that I want to be and trying to and trying to match the husband he needs. And that's kind of cool, man. So yeah, I mean I love her, man. Aisha, man. We'll be married 7 years in July 1st.
Man, I remember when you first started dating her and you mentioned her, and I was like, hey, you said her, your voice lit up. I was like, wait a minute, bro, what's going on? So then you went and got married. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw
man.
this out there. I didn't get invited to the wedding. We'll argue about that later offline. But I'm just gonna throw that out there. I could have did some break dancing at
Yeah, man.
the reception or something. But I mean, here we are.
All
But
that.
congratulations
All
to
that.
you guys on 7th year anniversary. Hey, completion. Thank you, Jesus. But But
Yeah, thank you. I was tired of being. I was tired of being for the
streets.
streets. Anyway, I was tired of being.
Say that last part again. Say that again.
I was tired of being in the rumor mill, man. You heard me?
Yes.
You heard me?
Yes, I heard you. I heard
Yeah, I
you.
was tired of the rumor mill, Doc.
Shoot. What were
So I
some of the
had.
rumors they talked about you, Doc? I mean, let's go ahead and just
Don't
put them out
do
there.
it. Don't do it.
I'm just saying they was like I was out here. They were saying that I wasn't a holy man, and I was out here trying to live like Solomon.
Oh my God.
And
But you know what? You know
That's
what?
what
The
they.
sad part about it. Sad part about it. That comes with the territory when you're in a leadership role or you're in a platform. You automatically assume as being sponsored by Mead. They think you're loose leaf. So they
I was,
they
I was
they
living
have you
like
out here.
they wasn't lying. They wasn't lying. They was not. They wasn't lying. They wasn't lying,
they just
Doc.
weren't supposed to know.
Beam me up,
They
Scotty.
wasn't lying. They was minding my business. They wasn't. They was minding my business. They wasn't lying,
It
Doc.
was minding your business.
They wasn't
JeVaughn,
lying.
don't. Lord have mercy.
Listen, if there
He
were
got
three
time today.
women, I got time today. If there were three women that you just need to go back and apologize to, now let's talk to them by name: Jessica, Amber, and Rochelle. He is
He don't know
sorry.
them. He
Oh,
don't
those
know
were none of the
them.
I
names.
don't know.
Never mind.
Negative.
I don't know none of them
Never.
names, Doc. They wasn't no Jessica and Rochelle.
It sounds like you're
Wasn't no
projecting.
Rochelle. Wait a
It sounds like
minute.
JeVaughn projecting. You something off your
we only
chest.
we only apologize to the snow bunnies. Praise the Lord. So here's my
Hey, Doc.
question though.
If you ain't listen, you should go ahead. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I apologize. If they should have went to Jesus by now and got their healing.
We just hope that they buy the new album and they understand where your new heart is. Now, when in the process of making the album, I don't know if you can still hear me because you went black. Are you still there? Steph, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anderson? Okay,
I can hear
cool. I
you.
can hear you as well. We'll give him a moment to come back in. And I don't know. This did it this morning too with Darnell Davis, so it might be a StreamYard
Can you
thing
see
that
me?
they're dealing with.
You
We
can't
No,
can't
hear
see
sir.
me?
you, but we can
Can,
hear you.
can you hear me?
We can
We
hear
can hear
you.
you now, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Let me see something. I can go out and come back in.
Yeah, let's do that. Go
Try
out and
that.
come back in. That normally clears it up. This is why we are recording it and then we're just gonna go back and edit it down later. So this
Gotcha.
is the beauty of this method. Man, the interview this morning went well with Davis. It was a
Pretty
good little
sure,
talk.
man.
Yeah, that Lena Bird though. Boy, my God from
Unfair.
Zion.
It's unfair.
I tried to get her on the show, but she was taking care of something during our time. But she promised that she was gonna come on another time. So
It still
when I
ain't.
do the
It
Lena
still ain't
Bird,
come back.
I'll have you come on for that one too.
It
We
still
Yep,
ain't
can't
I
see
mean
working.
you,
not
but we've
the
heard you.
video, but
We can hear you, but we
yeah,
can't
we
see
can hear
you.
you good. You got good sound.
What's wrong with my? So I left and came back. I still ain't working, huh?
Everybody that went black.
Oh,
Everybody that went black. Y'all got iPhones? Dang. So guys, picture it. Sicily, 1822. I'm all by myself until they come back. I'm glad I'm stationary today. I normally am just pulled over doing interviews with these jokers. But everybody, listen. Make it your business to subscribe to the JeVaughn Show. He has a lot of amazing artists that he brings on here. I think I was probably one of the first people on this pilot show. But get your information. I'm pretty sure he'll type it in the message links. The message he'll put it in there, and you guys can go on and download the JeVaughn Show. Check out the interview. Check out all the people he's talked to. Of course, JeVaughn is crazy, but he's a good, solid brother, man. And this is an amazing experience to co-host with him time to time. He has an amazing show, so you guys make sure you subscribe, you check it out, follow JeVaughn Show, check out all the artists he's interviewed, and you'll find out a little bit more personal things about them that you didn't know, because JeVaughn will ask the hard questions, and JeVaughn will ask the questions that we tell him not to ask. But it's a good show, and you will enjoy it. So you have amazing artists, like we have Pastor Damon, right? Dame right here. Y'all forgive me, I'm losing my voice. We have Pastor Dame here today. So, check it out. Check out the JeVaughn Show. Subscribe, like, share, tell everybody all about it. Also, Dame's project, download it. Download all his music. He got one song, I think I used to cry all the time. I had to stop playing it. It was a slow song, like your second or third song you released years ago. I had to play it on my show, and I had to stop playing it one time. I would just get full, and I'd be thinking, God, I can't help it. You can't on. And so I thank God for his ministry. But go download his music. They'll type their name in the comments and all that stuff, and you can go download the music and follow the show as well. Now, as you're saying, Chief Apostles.
Elder, you know how to do something, and I'm grateful to call you friend. Every time I call you,
Okay.
you answer, and that is why I call you friend. Oh,
Let's go ahead.
Y'all
But
hilarious.
as I tarry, I want to thank you, Elder, for coming on. Dame, I want to thank you for coming through. And as we go through our technical difficulties and everything else, what I hope people take out of this is that you are a good man of God, and you're also an amazing musician. Which one do you want to be memorialized for greater? I know. Listen. I hate it when he turned his head like that, because I know I done messed up the vocabulary. But do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a great musician, artist, or as a great man by people who don't even know you?
I'll say a great man, but people who don't know me will be better. Much better, yeah. That means that you've reached farther if people who don't know you can speak that of you. And I've done my job.
Yeah,
that's good. I want people to say, man, JeVaughn was a great podcaster.
He was crazy.
Yes. But I think that's the narcissism in me that God hasn't weeded out yet. With this project, was there a particular song that you can speak to? And I apologize if you've already gone through this with Elder when I was on leave. But is there a particular song that you just can't wait for people to listen to and be like, oh man, this brother is killing it?
Nah, I don't have a particular song yet that that drives me. I haven't found that. Yeah, not yet. I mean, the song that the song that I've recently released is, like I said, is different for me. It's out of my comfort zone. Now you know what? One of the songs I've released a couple years ago called "Answering Prayer." That's one of my favorites because the song was birthed out of my father. He on his deathbed, and I'm asking God to heal my dad. And my mom is a pastor, and I'm like, she fast and pray all the time, and I'm like, God, what's up? Like, I'm reading these scriptures. Like, you tell me if I pray in the name of Jesus, it's gonna heal. I guess at this point, it's personal for me because I need my father to be healed. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And um, the Lord spoke to me and was like, um, and I'm so I wrote the song. I'm like, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, Lord. I'll give you reverence. Your power remains the same. You saw my sins from far away, but you came to give me grace. Oh Lord, we need to answer prayer. I wrote the song because God pretty much told me that, like, don't demand. I can't demand anything from Him when I haven't walked a life that can demand anything from Him. Like, handle. You pray first. You get your life to a place where I can hear your prayers, and then you can come and bring a demand to me. And it was like real. You know what I'm saying? So it's all. So answering prayer would be the song that I think like really that I poured my heart. Like I poured everything I had, like everything I had, I poured into that song.
Man, that's beautiful. And looking forward to people being able to hear all of your music, to embrace you as an artist. Before we let you go, can you tell everybody where they can find you and where they can find your music?
So yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms. Um, Dame Wilkes, that's Dame. Wilkes is Wilks, as in Sam. Dame Wilkes on all social media platforms. My new single "Better Man" is available everywhere. Again, just type in "Better Man" by Dame Wilkes. It'll pop up. And yeah, man. So my music is available everywhere. So
Man, I appreciate this. Man, thank you for coming on the show today. Thank you for letting us cut up a little bit. Thank you for sharing your testimony. And
definitely,
I appreciate Steph. And I can't see him. I don't know if Steph, can you hear us?
I don't see him on here.
There we go. There we go. I don't know what was going on. Everything got to flickering and moving. Now JeVaughn look like a Blair Witch Project. So now question, Dane, because you have it under you have your new project under your abbreviated name. That's what I wanted to ask you earlier. Tell them